GM fam, what's up? How we doing, chat? Say hi. We got a
Oh my
couple
god.
peeps on today. And instead of behind the avatar, which is not Wednesday, so you guys shouldn't be surprised, but instead of behind the avatar, we're doing a metaverse spotlight. This will be the second metaverse spotlight I did. If you guys caught, it was a Twitter space, the first one we did, but I want to do it on Twitch because video's cool and we can hang out in the social hub. So make sure you guys come and hang out with us. Just go search Club Z in the drafts gallery, and you can come hang out with us in the social hub. But if you haven't figured it out already, I have King of Crypto and Sparky Snickle with us in the house, and we are going to be talking about King of Crypto games. So, what up, guys? How we doing?
Doing fantastic. It's been a nice day. It's Monday, so it's always a busy day, but glad to be on with you.
Yeah, Mondays are busy for me too. I was like, for a second there, I wasn't sure if I was gonna get home in time to hop on, but I wiggled some things around and made it work. And I'm moving things around. Sorry. Boom.
Just
Um,
faithful. I don't know what to do with my hands.
it's always my problem. Actually, it's not usually my problem because my hands are always on my keyboard or my mouse. Um, so let's first start off by just kind of giving everyone an overview of what King of Crypto Games is all about, because I'm sure there will be people tuning in, catching the replay that have no idea what you guys have been up to. So let's just give them a quick little rundown of what you've been doing, and then we'll just kind of dive into open-ended questions and fun stuff.
Sounds like a plan. Well, I'll at least start with just a very nutshelled, condensed version. King Crypto Games, we are a studio game design, game development company. We are at this time exclusively in the sandbox because of all the different metaverses and game building platforms. I feel like the sandbox is not only the most innovative, but has set up a very robust system for continued longevity into the future, especially for creators. Here at King of Crypto Games, we are building a play to earn economy, mainly centered around the Battle Pass, but there's other things as well. Currently, we are up to a team of 10, and we're designing and building new games every day actively. But we have designed and already have launched 10 playable experiences with two more in creation right now. And I'm going to try to keep that nutshell, so I'm going to end it there.
Hell yeah.
I'm not. I will normally keep talking my butt off. So I'm
I was
gonna
gonna
try to
say,
cut
I
myself.
was gonna say, I was expecting at least another 5 minutes, but
Yeah. Yep.
but hey, that's good. That was a good little overview. And Sparky, do
Yeah.
you want to introduce yourself and what your role is with everything?
I am Sparky Snickle, or Sparky, or as King calls me, Sparks. I've been working with King and Batman in the KOC Games group for a few months now, helping out with assets, having a heck of a fun time, and just recently took on the role of the Builders Guild manager. So I am hoping to help inspire some new builders in the universe. And my job there mostly is to help support. So, if you're new and you're not sure, then that's where I come in, ask all the questions, and hopefully we can get you feeling comfortable in Box Edit.
Hell yeah. Um, since we're on it, let's dive a little deeper into the Builders Guild. What when did this happen, and what is going on in it right now? Because I know that I'm like trying to ask a question without I know what's going on. So there's a competition or a contest or something going on. So let's spill the beans on that so everyone knows about that. And yeah.
I like it. Well, I'll start at least just play how to put it into a nutshell, and then Sparks, if you want to take it away. So at King Crypto Games, we are a very sand fan based project. We like to try, I guess to put it in a quick nutshell, my journey in the sandbox, it took time to gain traction, to get my works out there, especially when you're in the very early days. And so, being that the only reason that I am where I am and was able to found King Crypto Games is because of the community, the Sand Fam here in the space. And so we're actively every day trying to figure out new initiatives, new ways to be able to give back to the community and try to ease that transition for anyone that's brand new. So the Builders Guild was actually something that we had thought of probably about 3 or 4 months ago. And the very first Builders Guild Challenge we had launched probably 2.5, maybe 3 months ago. And some of the people that actually had submitted entries for that, the very first Builders Guild Challenge, are actually working with us now at Camp Crypto Games daily. And so, we had a lot of fun with that. We loved what we're trying to start there. But we decided it was with how many things we're doing at the project in total, we thought it'd be a little bit smarter before we really launched it as large as we would want it to be, to get everything into place, like Sparky here, who's making sure that every day people have questions. There's a lot that goes into the Builders Guild, so we want to make sure that before we were saying, hey, come do this thing, and then it's going to take 3 weeks, a month to get everything done, get rewards distributed, all that kind of stuff, that we had everything in place. So that's why there's a little bit of downtime, and we re-released or at least really started promoting the Builders Guild as what it is now with Builders Guild Challenge 2. And I'll let Sparks finish.
Yeah, so I have had the privilege of putting out the second challenge, which we decided was going to be fireworks designs. So you can take that wherever your imagination takes it. Fun, explosions, fire, craziness. So right. We are in the Discord. So, if you, like I said before, want to post, how you're doing, your progress or questions, or you're struggling with a part of it, then, we're there to support you. That's, like he said, that's why I come in. That's what I'm there for. We have the form up now for entry. So if you've already completed it and you're ready to put it up, then the form is there as well. I'll be looking through those. And if anybody wants any kind of critiquing or help, or, how could I do better? I'll be looking over everything too and making sure that the guidelines also work along with the marketplace. So you can, I guess, get a little bit of an education if you want on what will work in the marketplace and what might not, what will work in GameMaker. I always suggest testing everything in GameMaker because the difference between Vox Edit and GameMaker could be shocking.
It is sometimes.
Truth.
Yeah.
Especially
a lot of fun.
colors.
Yes, which are different now, even in 0.8 versus 7. So depending on where you're building, you have to pay attention there too.
Yeah, there's so many things to pay attention to, and I think that's like probably the best advice, and the advice that was always given to me early on when I was asking people questions was like, just go test it in the Game Maker. Like, if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, it doesn't, and fix it.
Troubleshoot, right?
Yep.
Because the Game Maker is basically the game. Like, if it works in the Game Maker, it should hypothetically work whenever the game is live. So yeah, that's a great place to start. What I see, Batman and who else is in here? Huddle, Go West. What up, everybody? Batman asked what page we are on. I have no idea. Use the search function. It's there now. So search Club Z if you guys want to join us in the social hub. That's all you gotta do.
Come on.
Search Club Z.
Come on by. Just come say hi.
And come join us on the couch. Grab a goodie on the way. You'll have to travel through a back alley, and you will find your way to a snow globe shop. Entering in and finding no snow globes, you will find your way into the festival area in the back, and you'll be able to find us from there. And ask if you have any questions. What was I just? Oh, Sparky. I'm gonna ask you this, but we don't have to go super deep into it. But we should also have you on behind the avatar, and we can go deeper into it. I see somebody wandering around out back, climbing around. I didn't see the name though. But Sparky, how long have you been building in the sandbox?
A bit over a year. I think
Nice.
I kind of joined the space around October of 21. Is that right? What year is this?
Yeah, that would be. Wait. Yeah. That would.
Yeah. Yep. because it's just into
Yeah.
2023 now. Yep. I did that same thing the other day where someone said, like, I've been in since December of 2021. I'm like, well, that's a long time. I'm like, wait, that's about when I got in.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
I see. I get so distracted by everyone that it pops up on the screen. I see Gibus sneaking up behind us, and Roxy, Batman. What up, everybody?
Roxy, you forgot your pants, bro.
Looking ripped though. Having
Oof.
that must be that pizza diet. Um, so you've been building in the sandbox for about a year. What got you into building? Like what? Or I guess maybe a better question is, how did you even find the sandbox?
Mm, So the hubby was already into crypto and paying attention in the space, and he happened upon a random video talking about the box edit and game maker, I guess, and like making 3D assets for games and stuff, and the creator fund. So he showed me the video, and I have played around with graphics for like since high school for
Mm.
years, and never did anything with it professionally, but it's always been there on the back burner. And he was like, "It's too bad you didn't go to college for graphic design." And I was like, "Well, it's a free program, so I'm going to download it and play with it." And here we are.
Hell yeah, that's good. Good proof. Proof's in the pudding. Just pick it up and start fiddling around with it, and you can figure it out. It really isn't that hard to figure out. I mean, I picked it up from the ground up. I have no background in it as well, in like graphic design or anything as well. So it's impressive how user friendly um, Vox Edit and GameMaker really are. Like obviously there's people that hold it to a higher standard, that maybe are used to other programs that they've done designing in, but to me it's all I know, and it's pretty damn easy if you ask me. So if anyone's watching along and has been contemplating or sitting on the fence, now's the time. Dive in and play around with it and see if you like it. Maybe you won't like it, and that's fine, but give it a shot and see what you think, because you could fall in love like everyone here. So that's sweet to see. I get distracted by comments.
You're like me, bro. I love it.
Oh yeah,
I don't feel so lonely
that's
with
why.
that. I'm like,
No, I have to like ignore the comments, otherwise I just get so distracted. But I saw, but now there's comments in the social hub too, so they're everywhere. So they're throwing me off. But let's segue back to King of Crypto Games, and you had brought up, so for those of you that don't know, first off, or haven't seen, you can go back and watch. It might be one of the first episodes I uploaded to YouTube, but I know it is on YouTube. One of my conversations with King, and there might be two even. I'm not 100% sure, but but go back and find King of Crypto on Behind the Avatar episodes, and you can learn a lot about the battle pass. I know we dove into that, but we can dive into it a little bit more. I know we have a lot of different stuff that we can cover, but you did mention early on the battle pass. So do you want to just kind of give a brief explanation on what the battle pass is and why people should get one?
hell yeah, brother. Oh, I can swear, by the way. I'll try not to, I guess.
You
But
can
yeah,
swear.
I already okay. I was that slipped one out on that one on accident. But yeah, so here at King of Crypto Games, we're building lots of different games, and we're building an entire games economy. I fell in love, I'm a gamer for pretty much ever since like 5 years old with Nintendo, and but more recently in the last 10 or so years, like Call of Duty, Fortnite, both of which have the battle pass type of system in common. And if anyone doesn't know, you just something that you purchase that you have the battle pass for your account. You complete either challenges or level up your account, however the different battle pass is structured, and you'll get in-game rewards for that. Now, when I first found out about the sandbox, what really drew me, so I was in the crypto and NFT space already. I really like the true ownership, the whole, you own your NFTs, you own rights to that. You can do, there's lots of different things with utilities. But then when I found out about the sandbox and how, you can actually, it's a video game that you can actually own your assets, unlike, any other game where it's still technically they own the assets and they just kind of turn on the functionality for your account. So I really thought that into the future that is what I've always kind of wanted games to be, where I actually I own the assets. So as an example, I played World of Warcraft for many years, but even after having some of the OG, originals and some of the best gear, there's nothing I could do with that unless I was going to sell my entire account. No way to actually get anything from that. And you never want to do that because it's like, well, what if I want to play that game again, which I have over the years. So I really think that blockchain is the way of the future in that way for gaming.
Mm-hmm.
So when it came to the sandbox, I had originally purchased land and just kind of fell in love with Game Maker and box set it. After time, I didn't know what I was going to do with the land, but then I really liked the, like I say, the no code logic system, box edit, being able to build anything you'd like to. Your imagination is the limit, and really feel like this is what I wanted to do long term. And so I started investing my time into learning the softwares and had built Kingdom of Sakar as the original first game and started, building the project after that. I guess I'm trying to keep it nutshell. But
we got time.
Long story short, I feel like that when it comes to the Battle Pass idea, Kingdom of Sakar was our only original game or only game at that time. And I know a lot of people love, Kingdom of Sakar, but not everyone loves medieval type games. So for the Battle Pass system, now we have 10 different games. We're going to do because season 1 has already ended. We're going to do a pre-season before season 2. That way players can get in, be able to get rewards, get established, or at least get a lot of the information for what the battle pass system is. And then we're going to launch season 2, which is actually a little bit different from season 1. We're going to have it very similar. There will still be, for missions and challenges, quests and whatnot completed in games. You will get a currency and NFTs that you can use in the Royal Bazaar reward shops, where there is different NFTs, sandbox minted assets, as well as cryptocurrency rewards, so sand, what have you. So players can earn that way. But what's going to be different about season 2 versus season 1 is we're going to make it even more like the traditional battle pass you've seen in other games, where you purchase a battle pass, you level up by playing our games to level 10. You're going to instantly get a sandbox equipable asset airdrop to you. Level 20, another sandbox asset airdrop to you, and level up that way, so that each challenge you'll be able to get a coin so that you can go purchase whatever you'd like to with all your coins in the reward shop. But you also know that every 10 levels, you're going to get specific sandbox minted assets. And you'll be able to see that. We'll have all the information out there for graphics and knowing exactly what the rewards are before season 2 even launches.
Hell yeah. That's the way to do it. I'm glad you're shifting it in that direction, because I think that the model's proven. It's proven to work. They use it for a reason. I mean, look at Fortnite, and I mean, Fortnite's the first one that pops in my head every time.
Yep.
But I mean, that's proof in and of itself that it works. And obviously, they have a huge brand and have built it up over time. But they have to start somewhere, and might as well use a model that is already working for somebody else. So I think that's a great strategy. And you have 10 games that are they in rotation, or I'm just trying to wrap my head around.
So
yeah,
when it comes to 10 games, that's just games that people, they're even out right now in the Sandbox Game Maker Drafts Gallery, so anyone could jump in and play them. But how we're going to do the Battle Pass is that every week there'll be certain challenges that unlock, if you will, just go live. Mm-hmm. And we'll have it for different games every different week. So that way, too, if players say the Battle Pass launched today and someone didn't hear about it for 2 months, well, that's totally fine. Those are always live, so you can always go play them at any point. Or say you're really busy one week. It's not like they don't go live. Once they're live until the end of the season. So players can always jump in there at any point that they have some time to get them accomplished, level up their account, their Battle Pass to get the rewards. But yes, we have 10 different games already, as well as 2 more in production. That way, we like to have a little something for everyone, because I like Medieval games, personally, that's been my biggest thing. Traditionally in gaming, that and first-person shooters, especially like battle royales. That's always been my big one.
Yeah.
As soon as Sandbox turns on that functionality, oh man, it's
Seriously.
on. We actually we're building a very large level over the last 4 or 5 months, and it's perfectly set up for battle royale. So I cannot wait until that functionality is actually out. Who knows when that'll be? But we want to make sure to have a little something for everyone. So there's a lot of different games. Some are more about natural beauty and more like wildlife. Some are more like MMO dungeon raid type. Some are more like Sonic and Mario, things like that. So that they're some side scrollers. A little something out there for everyone. But I like how you said it. I'm a big fan of Fortnite myself. And the biggest thing I loved about Fortnite is I was actually, before they even had Battle Royale, I played the Save the World, which is all it was at that time. You're setting up, waves of zombies and you're like setting up traps and you're killing them.
Yeah.
And yeah, and so when they came out with Battle Royale, I was on it, like day one, and I really liked the Battle Royale. But they were very small at that time. They grew because of their battle pass and support from players. So because the Sandbox is still in alpha, I feel like that's a very good business model going forward.
100%. I mean, I don't see any reason why that shouldn't work. I mean, that's it. It's just like I said, it's proven, and it's what gamers know too. Like it's just it'll make sense to new people that find your battle pass. Like it'll just click, which I think is important right now. As we onboard more and more people on into the Web3 side of gaming, there's going to be room for, as that onboarding progresses, to kind of like forge your own path and do your own thing. But I think the easiest and best opportunity to onboard gamers outside of the ecosystem would be to mimic things that they're already used to. That's obviously my opinion, but but I think
I think you're right.
Yeah, that's just like kind of what I've been realizing anyways, is that if you and I think the most important thing is the game needs to be fun. Like people aren't going to play games that aren't fun just to, I mean, some people will, but to just to earn like a little bit of crypto or unlock a wearable or whatever. Like it still is like the core essence of gaming is that you're playing to have fun. And I think you guys are doing a great job with that. I've only had a chance to play I did not realize that you guys had 10 games out. I've only played through a few. Kingdom of Sakar I played through a couple times. That one was really fun. I really enjoyed that one. I know that's your baby.
Hell yeah. Appreciate you saying that, man. So yeah, that was a lot of hard work, and actually the first ever. And so that was honestly just a work of passion and fun, man. So that's definitely the biggest IP for what we do. Sakar, we actually are going to be starting episode 2 here very shortly. We've been making a lot of assets for it and whatnot over the last few months. But like you said, we like to make sure there's a lot of games. That's why you said there's 10. Holy crap, there's 10. Yeah, there's 10 out there. So, and then now with Game Maker 8, with being able to publish social hubs, like we were already, well, I won't say too much in the background, but now it's just a click of a button, which is beautiful. Still some testing in that because I have noticed a couple of hiccups, like Asker behaviors and certain things kind of being a little goofy, but it's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, there's definitely some glitchy stuff here and there, but it is what it is. I'm sure most of you, actually, I'm sure all of you experienced it that have joined us in the social hub, where the door asks you a question whenever. That is definitely not something that I programmed in. Can't figure out why it's there. Although it does have like GM as one of the answers, so I feel like it could have been me doing something stupid at some point, and then maybe duplicated something, and then started editing the duplicated one, and then that one's now still floating out there somewhere. I don't know, but that's neither here nor there. But glitches are to be expected. I mean, like we are still very very early on with everything. It's still alpha phase basically, so there's definitely going to be things that hiccups that we'll encounter along the way. So here's a question: are you guys in the Game Maker Fund, or are you doing this all on your own? Period. Question mark.
I like it. Period and a question mark. That's the way to end it. I like it. So, tough tough because I'm under NDA, so I forget what all I can
Okay.
say on that. But let's just say I've been talking with them, yes. And so far, I guess what I can kind of without having to be skirt too much.
Yeah.
So before speaking with them, it was a passion. It was something I wanted to do regardless. So regardless of what happened that way, we started building. And this was many, many, many months ago when we first or King Crypto Games was first founded. And then can't say too much more, but let's just say
Yeah.
big announcements coming
Yeah.
at some point.
Cool. Yeah. That's perfect. That's all anyone needs to know. I think that's enough. For anyone that would be curious about that question. Flinty.
And that actually reminds me, can I say one more thing real quick that I just thought of? So,
Of course.
and the difference between season 2 with the battle pass, I just forgot I should have said this a minute ago, but and season 1 is that in season 1, we all thought the UGC was going to be a little bit quicker than, or at least, when if you've been in the space for over a year, whatnot, when a lot of us, SamFam OGs first started getting in, obviously the UGC talk was, a big buzz and everyone was making a lot of assets expecting that. Honestly, by this time, would have probably already been live.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Feel
so
that?
yes. So when I first started making the first season battle pass, we all expected that time frame would have been by now, but it wasn't. And so with season 2 battle pass, instead of saying, hey, here's this NFT ticket or something, and then one day, who knows when UGC will actually materialize, you're going to get airdropped these assets. We already have a lot of minted assets, so they're already ready to go. So when it comes to season 2, there is no, having to worry about that NFT ticket system or anything like that. The assets already been minted, so there will just be airdropped right away.
I like that strategy. Personally I've resisted kind of the ticket system just because I feel like it's so much like to keep track of, and I feel like the logistics behind it would be a nightmare. I didn't even start to like try and work it out in my head how how to do it. I was just like, I'm not gonna even really do anything with anything until I can actually get it on the marketplace, because but I mean, at the same time, it'll work. It's just one of those things that I feel like probably the biggest thing is you have to just hope that people are paying attention and redeem their tickets that they earned. Is that kind of what is that how you did season 1, was give out like a, I don't know, like a voucher or a ticket or whatever, and then
for some,
each
yeah.
thing?
So there was like certain criteria. So the people that did, like within the battle passes and had battle passes and reached certain levels and what have you, yes, they got tickets and whatnot. Some of those things have been minted and some of those things have already been airdropped. And then some things we're still waiting for mint. So that's why it was like, how do you say it? It's hard to keep information when there's like different things for different things. So that's why, like I said, with season 2, we're like, nope, before we even launch it, let's make sure they're minted. Now they're already minted. They're good to go. So there's no like, this one's good to go. This one's not. This one's a ticket. This one's minted. That just makes a lot of confusion. So we're like, nope. Let's just get it all good to go, squared away, so that, when the info comes out, it's, and when we did season 1, it was like, read this book and you'll learn all the information about season 1. It's like, no one wants to read a book. So we made it now, so it's so easy to understand. You could really read like 4 sentences and be like, oh, I know exactly what to do. Go and play some games, reach level 10, and I get this. Play some more games, I reach level 20, I get that. It's just so much. And you can take care of so many things with pictures that way. It's so nice. You just look at a couple of pictures, pretty pictures, and you know exactly all the info.
Yeah. No, that's the way to go. You got to make it as easy as possible, because me included have attention spans of about 2.7 seconds. So even if I'm reading something and paying attention to it, if I get a notification over there and I look over there, I might never come back to figure out what I was reading. So if I can digest it with a picture, that always seems to be the best way to go. For the games that people are, or the quests, or I don't know what you're calling them, for the battle pass, like what, maybe give us an example of like what somebody would be doing to level up to another level, or like yeah, just kind of break that down.
Yeah, no problem. We want to keep it easy and straightforward. So, if you're playing, if anyone here has played any games in the sandbox, then that's literally all you do. You just go into whatever game it is, like kind of like, like a sandbox alpha, game maker, draft gatherer, any kind of game. Go in and there'll be missions. You'll see the quest indicators. Just complete the missions. Each mission will have something that happens at the end. So whether something gets spawned, so that we can tell, you just take a screenshot. That way, you can tell, oh, yep, they completed that quest. Otherwise, that wouldn't be there. Or maybe it's an equipable asset, like a hat or something. So, yep, they wouldn't be able to have that hat unless they completed that quest. So just play the game and make sure you take screenshots of your completion, and it's nice and easy. That's about all I should probably say right now, because we do have another software that another company that's helping us make that even easier, I guess the way to say it, so that there's less to even do for player side and our side on the back end to be able to prove that it's completed and automatically distribute rewards.
Hell yeah. No, that's super cool. That I feel like that's one of the things that is missing with like the play to earn ecosystem, is like being able to easily and efficiently track people's progress, if they completed a quest, how much time they completed it, and et cetera, et cetera. And it's cool that people are solving that ahead of time. I'm sure that eventually that will be something that's just kind of included in the whole bundle of the Game Maker. But until then, it's awesome that people are improvising and making things work.
Till then, we find workarounds.
Yeah, workarounds. I mean, workarounds. I think that's kind of the name of the game right now. Is if you can figure out a way to build a workaround that works, do it. And then eventually it'll probably break, but that's okay. Then you just find another workaround. So it's just kind of how it goes. For the battle pass, I have one more question, and then. Actually, before I ask that question, is the battle pass the main focal point of King of Crypto Games? Like, is that where you would point people to if they were like looking to get into your ecosystem? Is start with the battle pass?
Yes,
obviously maybe join the Discord and start and just learn about everything, but once they're like, yeah, hell yeah, I like this guy, or maybe just after watching this show, like, hell yeah, I really like the sounds of everything, and I want to get started with King of Crypto Games, pick up a battle pass.
Yes, I would say that's the main, focal point of a lot of things. The main for the project at large, King of Crypto Games. Obviously, we're synonymous with goblins at this point, being that Kingdom of Sakar, just everything we do, most of our games. So we actually do have the Goblin Battle Card NFT collection. We have a lot of awesome utility coming with that here very soon with the playable game, and I won't put out too much right now because we have a lot of really cool announcements that will be coming in the next few months. But because some people, the Goblin Battle Cards, even though they're awesome and they have their own utilities, they don't fit very good in like a PFP for like profile pictures and whatnot. And I don't think I've said too much about this yet, but we do have an NFT collection that is actually very close to completion. Randomly generated. Yes, yep, and it's actually really. I'm really happy with it, and so, but like you said, at large, very much so, the Battle Pass ecosystem would be the main for King Crypto Games.
Heck yeah, that's cool, and that's exciting that you have a randomly generated something coming. I think
and like I said, with the Builders Guild, I'm really happy with that. That's something we've been wanting to do for a long time. Again, everything we do at the project, so like the games we build, even we try to highlight SandFam as much as possible. I do everything I can on Twitter and all these different social media platforms to highlight builders. But the Builders Guild is the easiest way to do that. That way we can help anyone that's first coming in. Maybe they don't know anything about Vox Editor game or the sandbox at large. Mm-hmm. Maybe they're intermediary, maybe they're been working the software for a long time, but it makes it very easy for all different skill sets or how advanced you are with game or Vox Edit to be able to either learn with the community, or if you already know what you're doing, or maybe you don't, you just have a talent for Vox Edit, If you'd like to be able to get your assets into games, like I said, we already have 10 playable experiences, more being worked on every day. So that way we can make sure to get artist assets into our playable experience as well. Because I feel like, especially once UGC does launch, that's going to really be the difference. You can build awesome assets and you can even try to post them on socials. If you have a large following, maybe you'll do fairly well with getting the knowledge about what you've built out there. But having them in games, I feel like, is going to be huge for people. If they're able to go in and interact with them and see them, and you're seeing people post screenshots about, I love this asset, whatever it is. That way, it's really going to make your asset stand out when UGC launches and there's tens of thousands of assets to choose from.
Yeah, I think the more places it can be seen, the better, right? I mean, that's kind of the name of the game when it comes to marketing. And yeah, I mean, having them in games that people are actually using and playing with will just get people to fall in love with them a little bit more. So then they're more apt to go to the marketplace and pick one up to play with in other games that they can bring it into. I guess I'm not very familiar. I haven't fiddled around with this very much. Whenever somebody's playing a game, I know there's like a way to like see all the NFTs that are in an experience. Is there a way for them to say they have picked up a wearable or something in your game, and is there a way for them to then go and buy that on the marketplace? I feel like that's probably not yet.
There is if the game dev sets that up. So
Okay.
And I believe it's still N. If I remember, I might be wrong about that. But if you're in a game, so if you hit N, it'll show you, what assets are in that experience, and then you can hover over them with your mouse wheel, and it'll show you like who created them, whatnot. But then, for the game devs, what you can do is there's that NFT display. I believe it's a component. Could be, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's component, not behavior. So what you'd have to do is you have to go in and place that asset. Say you had it on a pedestal or something. The Goblin Ruby Sword is an example, and then you set up an NFT display, something else with that logic on it. Then that player can just go up, press E to interact with it, and it'll bring up, Goblin Ruby Sword, view it in the marketplace. And then you can just click that button, and it'll bring up the Sandbox's website, and they can just hit the buy button right there.
That's smart. Tips from a vet. Take them and use them. As far as the Builders Guild goes, then this just popped in my head, so we're gonna segue back over to the Builders Guild. So you have the contests that are I'm assuming gonna continue to go on. Is there other stuff that is in the works or that you guys have thought about that you'd be doing with the Builders Guild? Like, I don't know, like when, just for example, and then you can run with it, but like having like a Wednesday night Q&A or something like that people can show up to and ask their questions and learn with the community kind of thing. I don't know why I'm answering so much of this question. Just answer it.
I love it. Just stop talking, or start talking so I can stop talking. Bro, you sound just like me, and I freaking love it. Exactly that. So the Builders Guild is set up to where, like you said, at least the easiest way for people to know about, or at least the first thing they probably hear about is, Builders Guild challenges, these rewards, whatever it is. And that's something that right now we're doing every month, and will actually grow to be more frequent than that even. But it's like I always say, start off something, a good amount of time, and then figure out, try to do it quicker and quicker to find out where that sweet spot is. Don't say like, we're going to do something every week, and then it becomes too much and you start blowing your time frames. So right now we're doing it monthly. But it is more than that in the way that, so that's just the challenges, if you will, with the rewards. There's also, how do you say it? People that submit entries will be able to see those assets in game to be able to help for exposure and promotions. But then, like you said, we are starting to set up to where we will do, I don't want to say weekly or a time frame yet, but we're going to be doing streams as well for learning streams. Currently, I do the Vox Edit Tuesdays, and that's on Twitch, but we will start doing even more so in the Discord. We did just partner with the Nobody, Rashul over there, or should I say Rashul, the project Nowhere. And so he's custom built a beautiful website. We're actually in there with the Builders Guild as well. There's a really nice like file storage as well as like VOD storage, so that we'll start building a training course, if you will. That's something that will happen over time, so that it'll start at first just be short videos, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, what have you, tips, maybe building simple things. more geared towards people, just getting into box edit, a little bit more novice or have never turned it on before. But then we'll get more and more advanced with that as well. But like you said, more interactive streams as well, where I don't want to say weekly yet, and it will grow. And I'm sure it'll be multiple
Yeah.
nights a week. There's lots of us, and people have already said they want to help with that. So it will at some point grow to be very frequent. But to where it's more like an AMA, if you will, where people can just jump on, ask questions. Hey, how did you do that? How do I do that? Whatever question it may be. So
Yeah, I think that would be super beneficial. Like obviously there's streams that people can hop on and they can ask questions. So don't be shy when you're hopping on people's streams. Like ask questions. Most streamers that I've ever watched
how we all learned.
that's how we all learned in the beginning for sure. Just ask questions, and more likely than not the streamer will catch the question and stop and answer it. And you'll learn something, and everyone else will learn something, and it'll be great. But I think some sort of like Q&A AMA style, where people can come and just ask any random question that they've been stumped on or whatever, would be really helpful. So that's cool that you're putting that together, because I think it's definitely going to be needed, especially as we move forward in the space. Like there's going to be more and more builders onboarded, and a lot of them are going to be new and have no idea where to start or what to do. So
Yes.
I know where I'll be pointing them, and that'll be the what do you call your Discord? The Sanfam
SanFam home base. Yep.
Sanfam home base.
And it's funny because it's like I never planned on making King of Crypto games. I made that way before, establishing the project.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, even when we established King of Crypto games, like I'm never changing that. I was like, a lot of projects, their Discord will be whatever their project name is, and I totally get that's easy. People are like, how do I get into King of Crypto games Discord? Well, you're never gonna find it because there ain't one. It's SanFam home base. So I do get that. That's the only thing that stinks, is that might be a little confusion for people. But at the end of the day, like I said, I built that, and that's exactly what it is. The Sand Fam is the reason that we do what we do, and that's why, honestly, that the Builders Guild, where the whole idea came from, is the fact that the metaverse, if you ask me, is very open source. People are putting the information out there, and because of the community and everyone figuring that out and building upon it, it grows so much faster and so much better. And it's a shout out of my way of trying to give back to help, because again, most of the things that I know how to do now are because other streamers, in the early days showed me this thing, and I just started messing with it, and then started, how do you say it? Just the more and more experience you got to grow and get better with it. But if it wasn't from all the amazing SanFam out there, helping out, especially in the early days, I would have never, grown to this point, and maybe I would have figured it out at some point. I don't know. Like I said, I got no background in computer design either, so
Yeah.
I'm very tech savvy in like the software, the hardware. I build my own computers. I know how to do a lot of stuff, but I had never done graphic design before. So it was
Same.
because of awesome people like Wayward streaming, and just all the amazing people, Panda Pops,
Panda.
building Vox at it.
Yeah.
Yes. So if it wasn't for those people streaming, I probably wouldn't know most of the things I know. So that's just kind of where the biggest idea of the Builders Guild came from. It's like, well, how do we, because again, too, it's not everyone's got time. We're all getting pretty busy these days. So if we all do our part where we can, then those avenues are all still out there for everyone that's just starting to get into the space.
Definitely, and that I think that's a good point to mention, is that if we all just do a little bit to help here and there, it'll go a long way, because there's going to be more and more of us as we go on, and that'll allow for more and more knowledge to be dispersed. I know. Like whenever I first got started with Vox Edit, I watched like 3 of Panda's streams, and just kind of like watched and was like, okay, this is a pretty cool program. I was like, I feel like I could figure that out. And then after like 2 or 3 streams, I downloaded Vox Edit, and then I kind of just like started playing around with it. And then as soon as I would get stumped, I'd be like, when is Panda streaming? and I would hop on her stream, and I would watch and hang out, and then when the moment seemed right, I would ask a question, and she would answer it, and I'd figure out where I was. Yeah, teach me how to do this exact very very niche thing that I cannot figure out, and she would figure it out on stream, and everyone would figure it out together, and that's I mean, that's just how you learn, and it's awesome that we're still at a stage, and I think we'll be at this stage for a while where you do have that easy access to some of the players that have been doing it a long time and really do have a wealth of knowledge to share, and yeah, it's just I'm so grateful for everyone that streams. All I mean, obviously all the OGs, but then everyone here that's hanging out. Like I was just like looking at some of the names, and like Fred and Ferd just popped in here, and like he's been streaming and teaching people all kinds of really cool stuff. So there's definitely room to come in and learn and teach. So don't be shy, because we need all the teachers we can get. Um,
Well said.
Hell yeah. For Goblin battle cards, I know you didn't touch too much on it, so maybe we won't go too deep into it. But we'll, you decide. Do you want to go into Goblin battle cards, or should we wait on that one, because it
I'll
sounds
just
like
lightly
there's
touch on it.
yeah, just
Yeah,
give people
I'll
an
just
overview
lightly.
at least.
So, if no one's ever heard them before, what they are is our project's NFT collection. We build lots of games in the sandbox, as well as we're working with some DApp developers to set up even more functionality and utility for them. But what they are is, or what they're becoming, is their own card game. That's what they're always meant to be. That way, too, because of the games we build in the sandbox, there'll be sandbox game functionalities as well for them, for holders and owners. And then we have, right now, when we minted the collection, it was a collection of 10,000. I felt like, honestly, when we had minted, I was like, that's a lot. But at the same time, it's like cards. You want to be able to have lots of cards. It would really stink if there was only one really awesome card and only one person got that. So that's why we wanted to have it more open, especially with the random. It's a random generated mint, so you don't know if you're going to get common, legendary, animated legendary. Each different rarity will have different benefits and bonuses that it gives you in the game, as well as there are traits on each card as well. So, like, imagine you have a construction worker, you'll get, I won't say too many beans, but you'll get a certain type of benefit versus like a why am I forgetting off the top of my head? Like a soldier type card, as well as there are two factions, Team Red and Team Blue. So they all have different utilities in the game and whatnot. But we are going to, at some point here, I'm not going to put a date on it yet, but not too far into the future, we are going to burn the remaining collection to be able to make sure to keep the scarcity down, if you want to call it that, before launching the next expansion of that. So again, think of it like I've been a collector of Pokemon cards. As you can see them in the back there.
Yep.
Pokemon cards, since they came out, I freaking love Pokemon cards. My brother's got much into Yu-Gi-Oh! I was a little bit more into Digimon in those days. Magic the Gathering was something I played for many, many years, strategy card game. And so, similar to Pokemon and Magic, I guess would be the closest to, having an entire game built on them as well, and having functionality similar to those.
Sweet. So will they be battles? Like, is that
They are called battle cards.
so it seems so obvious, but at the same time, you never know. So okay, so Goblin Pokemon. I like it. I mean, why not? I mean, that's
why not? Exactly. It's like, we have the space where we can build our dreams. The sandbox. You imagine it, you can build it. To be honest with you, too, goblins are just supposed to be like one race of the Kingdom of Sakar, like lore. But because they were the main focus of episode 1, we became very quickly RIP synonymous with goblins, and that's what people love. That's what I freaking love creating.
mm-hmm.
And so it just has spitballed from there. And when we're partnering with new projects and new developers and whatnot, and they're like, what type should we build? What are you trying to think of? It's like, well, we do goblins. So
yeah,
just building traction from there.
I think that's great, and I think it's helpful. Like, obviously, there's plenty of ways to build a brand, but it's helpful to have that kind of like iconic symbol for the brand, and I think goblins is definitely what comes to mind whenever I think of you, and a lot of other people obviously feel the same way. So I think that was a good move to kind of embrace that and just kind of lean all in.
Goblin.
Yes, embrace.
Yes, because how many DMs I get a week where people just send me random pictures. Like I was in a store and saw a goblin, and just like, of course, they're like, thought of you. It's like, oh, you freaking rock, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so many people too were like, that's very original. And I'm like, well, it's not, like Lord of the Rings has goblins. There's lots of goblin lore and different things, but there's not too many people that are like building entire things on goblins. And so, it's another way to also be original. It's like elves are awesome, and the elves are in Sakar. And we'll be talking about elves here very soon at some point with episode 2. But they're at least a little bit more, you see, not everywhere by any means, but you see more things about elves. You don't see much about goblins. So I really like that.
You don't see a lot about goblins. They're kind of bottom of the totem pole. Poor guys. You're gonna change that.
Exactly. We're bringing goblins back.
I mean, they're always like in the stories, but like no one really ever goes too deep into the poor goblin backstory or
They're always
anything.
portrayed as the bad guys. They're like, give me your gold. Or like if you play Diablo, you got the gold goblin around.
Yeah.
Kill the gold goblin so I get the gold. It's like, that dude's got feelings too,
Yeah. Be nice. Be nice to those goblins out there. I feel Sparky, how you doing?
I'm here. I'm hanging out.
Good. No worries. This is kind of how it goes. Whenever, especially when me and King are talking together, we both try and talk over each other, and we just talk and talk and talk. So, but feel free to chime in if you ever have any.
Good. I'm just here for support.
Moral support.
It's King's saying. I'm just
I was just checking on you, making sure you're doing good. I see you still sitting with us on the couch, so that's all that really matters. So
we work hard, but we party harder.
So you guys have been. How long have you been building as a team of? Well, you said a team of 10. I don't want to put that. I'll not ask that question. I was gonna say how long have you been building with a team, but that's a very broad. Like you could have one person or whatever. Like I guess maybe my question is, when did you guys start really bringing on team members to start ramping things up? Because I feel like there's probably like a point in time where you like onboarded a bunch of people, yeah? Or has it been slow and steady?
Well, it was like a mixture, to be honest with you. It's funny you say that, because I actually just think about that earlier today. I'm like, what was the date again? I got to write it down in the calendar, the exact date, especially because I know we got time before the 1 year anniversary, but I really want to know that date, especially just to, especially for the 1 year anniversary, but just to know in general. I just keep pretty much saying 6 months. I feel like it's been like 7, almost 8 months, honestly, is when I established, got the official business and established King of Crypto Games. But Batman TTV here in the chat actually was the very first. So Sakar episode 1, it was nearly completed. And as anyone knows from Sakar, I did it in stages. So it was like, it's not like when it released, it was 100% done. In fact, the very last update is almost completed, and I'll be releasing that here in the next few weeks for the final boss and whatnot, the final lore of episode 1. But Batman was just helping day in and day out. I mean, the guy was spending so many hours. We knew each other from Twitch streams, but he would come off, afterwards and just be sitting there in a Discord call with me for hours at night, just play testing, finding the spots that he got stuck and the quests that were broke. And then, and that was where it was at. And then I'm like, okay, now I have another content pack I'm releasing. Can you sit here and just keep going in? And like I said, we just sit there in a call all night long and making sure that instead of other people and players finding those issues and then having to DM and then having to wait, 2 days to be able to go back in and play, until I was able to fix it, we actively work together fixing it. And I don't even think it was that long, maybe a week, 2 weeks. And I was like, you just want to like come aboard and like, start doing this every day with me, building up the project. And so Batman was actually the first. And that's when it was very shortly after that, established King of Crypto Games as an actual legitimate company, LLC, and started getting all the different, documentation, all the business fun stuff done in the background. Something I've done many times over before, in the past with IRL. But, and then it wasn't too long after that. I really wish I would have wrote all this down. But probably within about 2 months after Batman coming aboard and fully establishing the business, expanded to, I'd say 4 or 5. And then Sparks being one right here, one of the first OG members. Honestly, most OGs other than Batman, to be honest with you. And I would say it was probably 2 or 3 months after that we grew it was kind of a more slow after that. It was like, there was like 5, 6 of us. And then just like, here and there, because we wanted to really lay the foundations for the project. We didn't want to be like, come in here and then have to wait days to get responses, or you don't really know the information. So I built the website. So it was a nice, easy one-stop shop for information. We work in a team building software. That took time to develop and get all of our GDDs and the asset boards and just all the things, so that I could be gone for a week and the team could easily log into that and know exactly what's going on, see the themes for everything, see the updates for progress on the game's development, what the assets should look like, just from start to finish. Again, I could go on vacation. I never vacation, but I could go on vacation.
Right.
And it's not like everything just has to shut down. So that took a little bit of time to get all that, all the foundations laid. But once that was in place, like I said, that's when we were like, okay, let's add another member. A couple more members. More recently, we just added a couple more. And we've been actually a little bit behind on the announcement. So that's why actually you'll see some more coming over the next couple of weeks. People that have actually been on the team for a couple of months now, if some like 3 months, but we're just about to announce that they're on the team because I feel terrible this long. So we're like, okay, let's make sure we get that running, because we have some more new people. And it's like, I want to be able to announce them, but it's like, I can't not say the people that have been here first. So it's like, trying to get all that out.
Yeah.
So
That's how it goes, though.
you get busy.
You get busy is right. But that's why you build up a team around you, so that you can have the support that you need. Because, as you know, you get busy, and I know there's plenty of times where I just feel like I could use at least 6 more hands or a duplicate or 2 of me. So yeah, it makes sense that
as long as they all have your beautiful beard, of course. Need it.
they have to. I mean, they'd have to be identical. I wouldn't want it any other way. I want to be in a room.
Heck
I want to
yes.
be in a room full of me's. So if you want to work for me, you have to look like me. Sorry.
I love it.
I've been like scribbling notes. It's what I found works the best now. Otherwise I just lose track of things, as a lot of the listeners probably can recall. But you brought up, and I was there at the Nowhere event that you guys did together. Do you want to dive in a little bit about that? I know that sounds like there's a lot more coming, but
Yes.
tell us what you can.
Exactly. So right now, okay, well, I guess I'll start at the beginning. So we have been partnering with a lot of amazing projects last few months, Junkyard Dogs, Octoheads, but most recently our really good friend Rasul. Rasul, I keep saying Rasul because the Goblin version of him has an S in the name, so I sometimes get mixed up between the two. But Rasul, he's an awesome musician. I mean, honestly, the man not only flows like a freaking angel, but the amazing what do you call the audio, the composing of the music, if you will. He just does an amazing job, as well as tell the story of the Sand Fam. So like, because he's a Sand Fam, very much in the community here in the sandbox, he plays for the alphas, he knows what it's like to be a game dev and a creator. And so you'll hear that in his music, and it really reflects with the all of us here in the sandbox, because we're all how do you say it, also in those experiences, doing those same things. And so we just got to talking a long time ago. And to be honest with you, that announcement and partnering was something that we had talked about a while back, or how to say it, just like a month before even the announcement. But it just, like you said, we get busy. Honestly, we all get busy. And so we're like, let's do it up right. Instead of just being like, hey, a Twitter post saying it, like, let's have a party. Let's make sure, because he was building the website, that we have some of the things on the website completed and good to go, so that when we're having a party, we can actually, tell people about it, and not just make a Twitter post and then have a party, and then a week later try to tell people about what's going on. So we're like, let's just try to do it all in one big shebang. So it took a little bit of time to get all that ready, but just like with Sparks here, the Builders Guild manager, we also do have the Builders Guild on the Nowhere website, and so it's mainly taking place in the Discord, but we will start. There's going to be features on both, and we're trying to make it as easy for people just coming to Builders Guild as possible to get all the information. Discord is awesome, as most of us projects, Crafty, you have your own Discord server. It's really helpful for a lot of things for projects, but there is a lot of drawbacks too, as well as not everyone uses Discord. but everyone uses websites. You know what I mean? You can use it on mobile, you can use computer. And with the amazing job that Rasul did building the website, it's already set up for so many of the functionalities and capabilities to be able to do, what the Builders Guild is there to do, especially when it comes to like video hosting and things like that. So that's one thing at least that I'll talk about with the partnership, and then much more to come, especially when it comes to music. But I don't want to more beans for that, so I'm going to let that simmer a little bit and just say that for now. Sorry, my kids are coughing background, so I'm going to mute just in between talking.
Oh no, you're good. I think that's a good place to let the beans simmer at, because there's plenty there to unpack. And if you haven't already, I'm sure Batman or somebody listening can pop it in the chat, but go check out the Nowhere, I think it's nowhere.com, the Nowhere website, because he did an amazing job on it. Especially, I think you guys had said he only spent like 2 weeks or something on it. So crazy.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, with the amount that he did in 2 weeks, you'd think that's what this man does all day long, like as a job. Like, he's been building websites for 30 years because of how beautiful a job he did, and in such a short amount of time. And to give a quick shout out to what he did on the website, it's not just like a website, like a lot, like even King Crypto Games is mostly a landing. It's got our minting, but it's more so about what our project is and more information. Nowhere is that, but it also has a forum capability as well. So it's like a social media platform, as well as having the video hosting and just lots of things. But one of the big takeaways, like I said, it's like a social media platform in and of itself as well, which is, I feel like, really, really useful, because the Sandbox does a great job doing some of the same functionalities that is in the Nowhere website, but the Sandbox has a lot of things going on, and so obviously things can take a good amount of time. And so this makes it a lot more streamlined and easier for creators as well as projects, I guess, lack of a better word there, to be able to get some of those features a little bit quicker and easier, and maintenance quicker, and just all around better and smoother.
No, I think that's a great idea, and it's cool to see. And I feel like I say it on every show, and I probably already said it on this show, but it's super cool to see everyone being innovative and creating just tools and experiences and games and just everything that people are creating, that we all can then go and use and enjoy. There's so many different angles on all of that, but yeah, it's just been fun to see everything that pops up, and that's why I keep doing conversations like this, because I feel like every time I hop on a stream with somebody, I find out something new that I didn't know about, even if I know a lot about them already, which I know quite a bit about you. But you guys have been doing some super cool stuff. And is there anything coming up that you can tease as far as anything that people could be looking forward to? Because I feel like there probably is.
Yeah, so we have a lot, actually. So that's why we've grown to as big as we are, team to be able to facilitate. We don't like, obviously things take time, at the end of the day, especially with a lot of things that we do, but we try to make sure that we have enough cogs, enough people in place, the functionalities and, in terms of the cogs and the people to be able to get things done, to where, if I were to say something, it's not, next year, it's more just like a month, 2 months, whatever it is, to, if it was just originating. But let's just say, so, there's a lot of things. So let me think of what social experiences are always big on our minds. I'll just put it like that. If it wasn't for the release of Game Maker 8, we would actually have a very large, very intricate, as well as a lot of utility, I guess, to try to not say too much, social hub experience that would be launching. But because of Game Maker 8 coming out and seeing the new VX effects, we want to be able to take full advantage of that in the experience.
Sure.
I feel like if you were to build something really awesome, really epic for a number of months, and then something comes out where it's like you can make it 10 times more epic, it's like it kind of stinks to release that and not take advantage. So we would actually have already released probably about a week ago a very large social experience, but it'll probably be about another month, because we are integrating some of the new functionalities into that as well. As well as a lot of utility, I guess. That was let's just say we didn't just build a level to build a level. We built a level for an entire playable experience and system, or not system, but economy, in and of itself. So, but again, here at King Crypto Games, we try to build for the Sand fam, not just like for them to play, but also to promote and build to. I'm trying not to beans too much. Let's just say there's lots of utility and functionality in the experience for Sand fam, and so we want to make sure that when it comes out, it's very epic. And so it's already epic, and I think there's a little bit. So I put out a tweet like a couple of days ago where it shows like some of the music venues just really, really, really briefly. But the entire experience is so much more than that. It's an entire world, and so yeah, I'm gonna cut myself off.
Yeah.
But let's just say, yes, we also have a Goblin NFT collection that'll be coming in a number of months, as well as yeah, I'm gonna cut myself off there too.
That's
But
perfect.
Some awesome things coming.
I was gonna say I feel like that's enough beans to throw on the ground for people to look forward to, along with everything that you guys already have going on. I get distracted by Roxy's levitating somehow on one of the speakers, and Fred and Ferd is rocking his Valentine's Day Valentine's hat that the council just released.
Yup, and Chaz
today, I
actually
think.
made that Santa's hat.
And yeah,
So,
now I
that's
see the
awesome.
Santa hat down there. I mean, there's all kinds of dope stuff that you guys are rocking. Does Batman have the Kingdom of Sakaar? I could rotate it around, but whatever. Now I'm good.
Yeah, it looks like the Goblin Ruby Sword, and I think the Black Knight's armor or shield.
That's
Yeah.
yes,
Defender.
Batman model. Get on the table.
Dance for us, Bat.
So what all? My words are not working today. How many assets do you guys have published on the marketplace right now?
So we have created in the last, since I build a lot of assets, and then the team, and so we have 2,300, I think it is in total, and we have 14 minted assets, 15 if you count our collaborative asset with Sandstorm, and then a few more coming very shortly.
Super cool. The shield and the sword that Batman on the table is rocking right now are two of those. What else do you guys have? I could pull it up even.
Yeah, so the Black Knight armor set was actually the very first thing that we ever minted. That's a full set, I guess. It's already in the name. But so legs, chest, headpiece, what have you. And the Goblin Ruby Sword, I think that was the next one after the set. And then we wanted to be able to make sure to get some goblins because the Black Knight armor set absolutely gotten a lot of great reviews, people love. But the first question we always got was, well, where's the goblin stuff? And it's like, oh, okay, all right. So when it came to the next wave of minted assets, like we have to get some goblin stuff, so people can wear goblins. So Goblin M Sandman mask was in the Christmas. I don't want to call it drops. We didn't drop everything at one time, which we kind of stagger things out. But then there's like a Goblin Elf Christmas shield.
What's your
Not the mint
how do I
ones.
find you?
Well, if you click on any of those, it should at least bring up my profile. Or if you click like into one of the
There we go.
assets there.
That's smarter.
Yep, and then click like my name there. Yeah.
There we
I
go.
think this should show the minted ones. Oh, it's only showing the ones on sale. So how I do it is those Black Knight armor sets always out there in the marketplace, but I like to try to stagger. So it's like I guess the best way to say it is crypto prices vary. They change. 1 week they're very high, next week they're kind of down. So when I listed them originally, it was saying it was at this price. I think it was like 50 cents at the time, and then as you saw the other day, it went up to $1. Now it's at like 70 cents.
Yep.
So I try to list them every 2 weeks. Which actually I noticed this morning. I was like, crap, they ran out because I have them every Monday that they run out, or every 2 weeks. So that way we can help keep the price low. Because again, Sands was low like 3 weeks ago, but then it went up. So the assets would cost like 10 or 15, some of them $20 more than what I want them, to cost, what they should cost. So that's why I try to re-add them to the marketplace every 2 weeks, so that way we can keep the price where it needs to be instead of up here when sand keeps going up. So right now, like you said, the Black Knight armor set's on sale. I'll be adding the Goblin M Sandman mask, the necklace, King's Jewel necklace. We still have some of those left, as well as like the Goblin Elf shield back on the marketplace tomorrow.
Nice, nice.
But we also have some that are exclusive for the Battle Pass, and that's why we have a lot of minted assets and can't purchase all of them because some of them are going to be Battle Pass exclusive.
Right. Which, if I've heard you correctly, there will be more that are going to be minted here shortly. That will be for.
You're good at picking up stuff. I like it.
Is there
Yeah.
is there something that people can look forward to that they can buy coming up, or is everything that you're minting going to be part of the battle pass and they should just get a battle pass and start playing?
We do both, and so that's
Both.
why with every minted, it's usually in batches, and so we try to make sure there's at least one or two that can be put out in marketplace right away for like a marketplace drop to add to, just so people can purchase at their will. But we want to make sure too that there are exclusives because again, when it comes to the battle pass, we really want to make sure to reward those who purchase the battle pass and get into our economy. So we want to make sure that there are quite a few that's the only way you'll ever be able to get them, especially because like the demand for the Goblin Ruby sword. Now again, that was legendary and it got an extremely amazing roll. I think it was like 98 strength. So it's like some of them are like that, where it's like they got really good rolls, and so it's like to add extra value to battle pass holders, want to make sure that if they level the battle pass, then that's their asset. It gets dropped to them. If they want to go sell it on secondary, well, that's completely up to them. That way it keeps it so that it's an additional utility or reward, I guess the way to say it, for purchasing the battle pass.
Hell yeah. Side note, because this just popped in my head, and I don't know why they wouldn't do it or why they couldn't do it. I feel like for putting stuff on the marketplace, you should be able to tell Sandbox when you're putting it on the marketplace how much whatever currency, so like USD, you want it to be priced at, and then they can just have the calculator calculate it whenever people purchase, and you
That would be amazing.
You still buy it in sand, but the price can fluctuate with whatever sand is, because I mean things that got minted this year, if we went back to last year, sand was $8, $9, I don't know what it hit, but like that, if that happens again, which probably will, some of these things are gonna be thousands of dollars, and not intentionally, just that's what they were that's what they were listed
I
at.
love video games, but if I gotta get a sword and it costs me $2,000, I guess I'm not getting a sword. So it's like, but exactly, if that artist who created that sword, if they meant for it to only be $20, I'm gonna buy a $20 sword, I'm gonna buy even $100, whatever it is.
Yeah,
but like I said, I'm not gonna spend a mortgage payment on a sword for in game. So that's why. Did you freeze?
No, I'm here.
Well, you're just not moving for a second. I was like, oh, shit,
I was probably reading.
But that's why, yes, like I said, it kind of stinks sometimes. I have to go, remember to go back in there every 2 weeks to relist things, but it makes sure that the price stays. And like you said, I'm going to bring that up because that would be amazing if the Sandbox could do that, where, like I say, you just listen to USD. So it's like, I just want the thing to cost $20, $30, whatever. Just make sure that it stays at that. I don't care if, the price of sand would have to vary for that. Awesome.
Right.
That saves me work from doing that every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. No, I think that, I mean, obviously, I don't know exactly what all that would take, but it shouldn't take that much to make it be able to do that. So I think that's something they could implement. But who knows? Maybe there's something to do with the economy, their sand economy, and how they want things to work. Who knows? But yeah, bring it up and see if you can get that implemented.
So Crafter had the best idea ever. You need to do this.
Yes.
And they'll be like, yeah. Why do we not think of that?
I mean, it makes sense to me. I don't know. It just like. I've seen that. I mean, that happens with like NFT drops too, especially in NFTs that don't mint out, because yeah, you can set the price on the day of the mint, but if everything doesn't go, then that's the price it's going to be, unless you wrote your contract so that you can update it. There are ways to do that, but there's also ways to not do that. Ask me how I know. But I've also seen contracts that will take into consideration the price of Ethereum, if that's what you're buying it in, and it'll price it at $20 USD or whatever. So it's definitely doable. So hopefully they can implement it. If you hear the Sandbox, please do that, because I think that would be great for UGC creators going forward, so that they don't have to kind of guess what Sand is going to do and can always know that their assets are going to sell for X amount of dollars. Yeah.
Well said.
I think that would be a good thing, or at least like have the option to price it in straight Sand or to price it in USD. And I don't know. We're getting in the weeds though. I see. I've looked over and I see Batman has all of the gear on now. So if you guys are, if you guys are tuning in, you can see what that full gear set looks like. He is somehow. Oh no, he's sitting on the drone. I thought you were floating super high off of the desk, but he's on the drone. So that looks sweet. If you would stand up and show everyone everything, that would be great.
Show it off, man.
Show it off. We got there we go. Do a little
Mr.
turn.
Fear's coming in, rocking the nowhere here
You
too.
could walk the runway.
Oh yeah.
The nowhere is the nowhere. Is that a hat and a jersey, or
If I remember right, they're one piece.
one piece?
Yep, I believe so.
That's cool.
Love with the weed going around too. Pot leaf, I should say. Maybe
Yeah.
I can say words.
I love that we can finally do shows in the actual metaverse. I've been waiting a long time for this. So eight, although it brought all kinds of super cool features like the visual effects and everything that you touched on, by far my favorite feature is allowing for social hubs in the drafts gallery. Because
Yep.
Don't ask me how many times I tried reaching out to different people in the sandbox to figure out if I could get this published as a draft on the 7, because like there was every once in a while they would like get somebody's social hub on there, but like I don't know, you had to know who to talk to, I think, to get that to happen, and now anyone can do it. So I wasted a bunch of time and now it's super easy, but I'm glad it's super easy, and it should be. So that's just a social hub plug. Next time, if you're not in here already, make sure you come out and hang with us. Maybe I should make a video, or maybe somebody already has, on how to download Game Maker and get into the drafts gallery and search, because as we move forward, there will be people that have no idea how to get in here, and that would be helpful. Now I'm just thinking out loud,
Bro. And I do that same thing all the time too, where it's like, because we've been in this space so long, it's like we already know these things, so you think like, oh yeah, don't got to make a video for that. But like you said, then you're like, yeah, not everyone knows that stuff. So yes, I mean, dude, that would be extremely helpful.
Yeah, I think that would. I think I looked at the clock and now I lost it. Yeah, we are coming right up on the time that I kind of need to start wrapping up. But this has been great. We've learned a lot, at least I have, and I know everyone that's listening in has as well. And if you're catching the replay, thank you for tuning in. Hit the like button and everything. I'm going to give you the stage, and Sparky, if you want it, to say any last words, point people where you want to point them, tell them to go buy your assets off of the marketplace, whatever you would like. And then we will wrap it up and say goodbye.
Sounds like a plan. I appreciate you having us on, Crafter. The only thing I would say is that, again, King Crypto Games, we're a team of 10 now SandFam artists, people that you see you're joking around with, and have for over a year in Twitch streams, what have you. Except we came together and we want to be able to make sure that, anything that you can do as an individual, or anything, any of us could do these things as an individual, but we can do them much quicker, much better, and have a much more of an impact if we come together and we work together. We're already having fun building with it, interacting all day long anyway. So again, we do have the support is very much appreciated, so that we can keep doing what we do, what we love, doing as many events and supporting the Sand Fam in as many ways as we already do, and initiatives into the future. We do have minted assets on the marketplace right now. Again, Black Knight armor set, but tomorrow I'll drop 3 or 4 more of our assets on the marketplace again, so they're purchasable. So very much so, we appreciate any support. Battle Pass preseason will start here in just a couple of weeks. That'll be pretty much the Battle Pass Season 2, but just an easy, free to enter nutshell, so that you can easily just kind of figure out what the Battle Pass is, get some rewards for partaking in that, and then we'll have Battle Pass Season 2 dropping. But the biggest thing I would shout out is, again, Builders Guild is going right now. Get into the Discord here on SandFam home base, as well as the Builders Guild on nowhere.com. Sparky Snickle right below is the Builders Guild manager. She's there to answer any questions, walk through, just help honestly, because she has very much experience in Box Edit and the most friendliest, most down to earth human being you'll ever damn meet. So always feel free, like I said, never hesitate to ask any questions, anything. But again, there's rewards for each challenge. We have challenges every month. So get in there, have some fun, build with the community, be able to see your assets in game, and know that you're part of a family.
Well said. And yeah, get in that Discord. I'm gonna put links in the description, and Batman or whoever, if you could drop a bunch of those links into the Discord chat that we had going, so I can have all those links in one place, that would be great. And I'll get those in the description for you guys, so you can go find where to mint the battle, or can they mint the battle pass, or do they have to buy it off of secondary?
Oh, so right now season 1 has ended. And let's just say season 2 battle pass will not be like season 1 battle pass. So you might be able to buy it on another website and see it in games. I don't want to say too much, but
okay,
yeah.
Okay. Perfect. That's all for now. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you, Sparky, for being the moral support and holding us down and keeping us accountable and not letting us stray off topic too much.
Spark is amazing. Thank you, Spark.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. And like I said, we'll have to have you back on at some point for a Behind the Avatar episode. But yeah, my time is running real short. Thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you guys for being here in the Social Hub or on Twitch or catching the replay or wherever you are listening to this. I know this is on Spotify and YouTube and all over the place. So thank you guys for all the support, and keep on listening. Leave some comments. Let me know if you have a suggestion for somebody you want to have come on the show. Behind the Avatar is where I get to know people behind the avatar, and this Metaverse Spotlight that I've started is where we do a deeper dive into projects inside the metaverse and really get to know what the project is doing itself. So Behind the Avatar is the person, Metaverse Spotlight is their business. So with that, goodbye. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I will catch you guys on the next one if I can find my screen, which I can't.
Peace out, Sand fam.
Typical.
Enjoy the metaverse.
All right. Bye, guys. Where did OBS go? I guess we're just going to hang out here for a little bit.
I love it. Yeah. This is what it's like streaming, y'all, just so you know. And this man's been streaming for a while, so,
Yeah, rub
this
it
is
in.
streaming right here. Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like, you could be doing this for a year and still you're like, wait, where's the tab, the button, how do I? Damn it.
That's true. I drug it off the screen. It was in my way, so I moved it off to the side. I found it, guys. Thank you guys again. Let me know in the comments if there's anyone that I should raid. I'm going to switch it over to the loading screen, though. Peace out, y'all.